Hey guys, how's it going? I wanted to try and take a different approach this week, mainly because I was dog sitting this week to this guy who was just the best. He was awesome, he was great, well behaved. As long as there's no other dogs and treats aren't involved, this little guy's an angel. His name's Odie. But he did make recording a little bit difficult. For those of you who are following the channel, you know about the ambitious project that I've put upon myself, which is to create this volcano island using the lava and water trick to just generate like the backbone of the terrain itself. So this is something I've done for quite a while, but I haven't done it to this extent before. I wanted to show you guys kind of my mindset and my process to the actual terrain generation or the terraforming process, just so that you have an idea of where this is going to go. Do I suggest that this is the best way to do terraforming or mountain making? Not at all. This is probably one of the worst ways. But I love it. I think it is so fun to just be able to cover a landscape with this method and see this mountain or this terrain just forming in front of you. And it takes a long time for sure, but I personally think it's worth it, and I'm excited to continue working with it, and I'll be doing it for a long time. But part of the first step is chiseling away the parts that you don't want to have. The first places that I want to start chiseling away, for me, because I am building on a mushroom island, I don't want to have to worry about unwanted spawns. So using F3, I was able to identify where on the mountains the ocean biome began and the mushroom biome end, and then put a barrier, dug down, made a wall, and just started chiseling down and removing the parts that would spawn hostile mobs. Now you can imagine removing this many blocks of cobblestone takes a long time. It was not fun, but it was worth it. If you're doing this in the forest and you're not really worried about this kind of thing, you don't have to worry about this step, and honestly, that's what I would recommend, because this is by far the most tedious and time-consuming step. But I'm really happy with how this was turning out. It's like removing a scab, you could say, where it looks very kind of gross and ugly after removing all of this, but over time and with some work, it'll heal, it'll get better, and well, I guess it won't heal, but I can make it better, I promise. I'm going to go in and actually slope the cliffs the way that they're supposed to look and fill in the gaps with textures and all sorts of blocks to give it variety and really beautify it. And doing the last portion, removing this stone, was so satisfying. Probably the most satisfying part of my base so far. Now, when dealing with the overall rocky terrain, I go to the cliffs, I try to make them look a little more natural, a little more slope, give them some thickness, and I go to the parts that don't look quite so natural and just do the process of chisel and fill, chisel and fill. I start breaking away all of these cobblestone and these strange looking portions of it and put in gravel, andesite, stone, and eventually this will come out further. It'll have some overhangs, it'll have caves, it'll look a lot more natural, and I'll come in with grass and trees. And when doing the portions of grass, I like to be more generous with it, to give it more thickness, to have more freedom of flow, and it is very satisfying as I was working on this, just being able to get an idea of how this is really going to look. I have some concept stuff that I've done with World Edit, but it's so nice to actually see the project itself start to get beautified. And I want to get lots of podzol, lots of grass, and make this place look just absolutely beautiful. And this is going to be a spruce forest. It's going to have the big spruce trees, the smaller spruce trees, and luckily I learned that the large spruce trees actually turn mycelium into podzol, so that's going to help. And I really hope that this has kind of gotten you guys excited for this project and to see it through and to see it come into existence and to completion and be able to see this amazing terraforming project. And just a reminder, this is only the beginning. The terraforming is just a template or a background for the base itself. If you enjoyed this, or if you are interested in following along, please consider subscribing and liking this video. I would love to hear feedback from you guys, some ideas on how I can make it look more beautiful, things to make it easier, things that I should try and implement to make it look just more amazing and beautiful. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm really happy you guys are here. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.